Paul Slack's Good News Broadcast. I'm here in Little Poland on 12th Street and about 2nd Avenue, New York, New York. Hello, I'm with Sid Bernstein. Hello, Sid.
Hello, Paul. Love the place you took me to for lunch. It's called Poland. The restaurant's name, Poland.
I think it's a country also.
And we are having the best potato pancakes I have ever had.
And we also had a strawberry lemon drink, which is very nice. And we had some borscht. We went with the hot borscht, didn't we?
A small borscht, not the cold borscht, but hot borscht, with a potato in the center. That's my favorite. My main dish are the potato pancakes, but the appetizer is always the small borscht hot, with a potato in the middle of the borscht. That's my lunch, and I love it.
But Sid, you also like those pancakes. You wanted those pancakes to be delivered the second you finish. Well, when you finish your soup, you want hot pancakes. And you've been commenting to this wonderful waitress how perfectly the timing was and how hot they were.
Well, one, she waited until I finished my hot borscht with the potato in the center. And the minute I finished that, she then ordered from the chef in the back a half order of potato pancakes. No cream cheese, no applesauce. It's not the way I like to eat. I like to eat the naked, with a little pepper on it, pancake. The flavor of that potato is so incredible that I never change the order. I come here regularly.
Now, Sid tells me also in this neighborhood, first of all, down the street is a place called Fillmore East. It was a music place, right?
It was about 5-7 blocks south of where we're sitting. The Fillmore East, where Bill Graham opened up his, instead of the Fillmore in California, he opened, thank you so much.
Sid's going to try a small one of these strawberry lemon drinks. And do you need something, Sid? You want some lemons? I've used all those lemons because I'm on the Good News to Go diet, and in that diet I must, especially after all the potato I will say while Sid's drinking, I am in seventh heaven. I really did overeat a tad, but not really, because I didn't eat any real significant breakfast, mostly fruits. So now I had, after shooting a 4-hour soccer tournament with a mutual friend, Jason, young children, I went here with the small borscht, and then I went with the potato pancakes, a small order of the potato pancakes. But I will admit that I went with the stuffed cabbage that was beyond humanity, along with the beautiful, beautiful beets, chopped up beets, warm beets. Not cold beets, warm beets, and a beautiful spinach. I think it was cream spinach. I'm in heaven. So, Sid, let's get back now to an egg cream, because you tell me that you had one of your first egg creams at a place down the street here.
About 6 blocks down. It was at 7th Street, the corner of 2nd Avenue, on the west side of the street. It was the first egg cream ever. First ever egg cream that was introduced, I later learned, in New York by a European soda maker who immigrated to New York and started the first egg cream ever.
And is there an egg in an egg cream?
Originally,
There was?
there was a series of eggs mixed in a malted mixer, you know, the big shaker, the big silver shaker, where you do a malted usually. The eggs were mixed there and put into the syrup while the syrup was being boiled in back of that store. Two blends of cocoa, stirred, mixed at the right time, and it was also a cigar store called Auster's.
Austers, A-U-S-T-E-R-S.
On 2nd Avenue and 7th Street. When Izzy Oster retired, his son Mendy, M-E-N-D-Y, took it over. I became very friendly with his son. I was a frequent flyer there. And when Mendy retired, I used to take him to lunch once a month when I worked up at Radio City, managing the Radio City Music Hall at that time.
You managed Radio City Music Hall?
About 2 years.
This is a new one for me, Sid. Hey, yeah. You know what? No one has ever told me there's an egg, was an egg, wherever it could have been thought of an egg and an egg cream. Nobody knows from an egg and an egg cream. This is magnificent information. This is exclusive stuff. You just don't get this every single day. Do you know who we're talking to? We're talking to Sid Bernstein. Sid Bernstein is the gentleman that brought the Beatles to America. He dealt with Sarah Vaughan. He had the Rascals, had Vanilla Fudge. This is Mr. Music, and actually we're celebrating, and we know when he brought the Beatles to America, you know, we think Beatles, rock and roll, hey, they went to Carnegie Hall. Isn't that a classical place? How did you ever get them in Carnegie Hall?
Brian loved the idea of his boys, who had just finished an engagement outside of England in Germany. He loved the idea of breaking his act in New York, and when I said Carnegie Hall, he said, "You want to put my boys in Carnegie Hall?" I said, "Yes." And so a year later, it took us a year to get to when he was available. They were calling for his services all over England. We played Carnegie Hall, excuse me, sorry, on Washington's birthday, February 21st to February 22nd, 1940. That was the first American engagement of the Beatles, Carnegie Hall.
You know, if you go into Carnegie Hall now, Sid, I called you from Carnegie Hall when I was over there seeing the concert. They have on the second floor, in like one of the food areas, they have memorabilia in Carnegie Hall now. And all of a sudden I'm looking there, and there's Sid Bernstein with a picture of the Beatles. You're in Carnegie Hall too.
Yes, I know. I'm proud of that. Now, speaking of the Beatles, I now, after Carnegie Hall, get very friendly with their young manager, Brian Epstein. I'm invited, or maybe I chose to come there, to Liverpool. I'd never been to Liverpool prior to that. I'd been in England, but not to Liverpool. As a soldier, I soldiered in England. Now, what we did was, I brought my son, my older boy. I have 6 kids. My oldest son, Adam, was on vacation for a week from his high school in Manhattan. I invite my son to come with me for that week. And we decide to visit the Epstein family, who would not let me check into the hotel in Liverpool. They insisted that I go to their home, and we stayed for 6-7 days at the Epstein home, a beautiful Tudor home in the heart of Liverpool. Coincidentally, while I'm there with my son Adam, Clive, Brian's older brother, Clive Epstein, says to me, "Sid, Strawberry Fields, where John Lennon stayed as a young boy when his mother, who was not very healthy, couldn't handle him, and he stayed there at a place called Strawberry Fields."
Wow.
It was like a home for orphans, children, and that it's called still today Strawberry Fields in Liverpool. We have our own Strawberry Fields now at 72nd, opposite the Dakota in New York.
Thanks to Yoko. Yoko, I believe, was very instrumental in the Beatles family to build Strawberry Fields out there. And Imagine, now she has a button on that says Imagine Peace, and We love Imagine. We're Beatlesaholics here at. We have the Beatles channel on Good News, and Sid, to me, for me, Sid, you're such my hero for me because I got a master's degree. Literally, half of my master's degree was in the Beatles, studying the Beatles, and that's when I met you down here.
See you again. Be well, Dave.
Be well, be well. Watch the show, all right? Watch it. You'll hear it. Well, every day it's on, all the time. I gave you the card.
Yes, I know.
So you watch it, you'll hear Sid. All right, take care. Thank you. Say bye-bye to Dad.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Now, so I'm invited to Liverpool to stay at the Epstein home. Brian Epstein's mother was still living with him before he really hit it huge and moved his operation to London. So we stayed at the Epstein house. While there, his older brother, Clive, invited me, or rather suggested, that 7 blocks from his mother's home and Brian's home was Strawberry Fields. So Sid, you might find it interesting to walk down and see Strawberry Fields. Adam and I, my son and I, after we had breakfast at the Epstein home, walked down the 6-7 blocks from where the Epsteins lived, and the 2 brothers were born, and we go to Strawberry Fields. And its gate is 2 huge stones, or 2 huge stones, look like fortresses, and a sign out there saying Strawberry Fields. My son brought his camera with him. My son brought his camera with him. Dad, take a picture of me. I want to show this to the kids at school back in Manhattan.